Hello everyone, today we're going to be discussing the protocols for the 1 mile jog test and the Rockport walk test. Try saying that 3 times fast. As well as any equipment or equations you'll need to complete the test. We're going to begin with the 1 mile jog test in this video, for which you'll need a standard or 400-meter track, a watch of some kind, or a heart rate monitor, and later on, of course, a calculator to finish your VO2 equations for both of these tests. Now to begin, you're going to want to warm up for 2 to 3 minutes to set a relatively good pace to practice with. Now it's important to note that this is a submaximal test, so the rate for this jog test is going to be a moderate intensity, and you don't want to be speeding up or slowing down throughout the test so that you get the most accurate heart rate possible. And around a track of this size, it's important to run 4 laps. 4 laps would equal 1 mile. And as soon as you cross the finish line or the same start point, it's important that you take your heart rate as soon as possible, either with your heart rate monitor. In this case, we're going to be demonstrating how to do it with a carotid pulse, which you'll take your index and your middle finger and count for 15 seconds, and then take that value and multiply it by 4 to get your beats per minute. And here's just a demonstration on how to do a radial pulse instead of the carotid. And the minimum time for that test is 8 minutes for men and 9 minutes for women. Now the Rockport test is the same distance and is also a submaximal test, but the participant is encouraged to walk as fast as possible. So you want to channel your inner soccer mom for this particular protocol. And you also want to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes to set that pace and of course to prevent injury. It's also notable that this particular protocol is good for older participants and people with CVD or any other kind of pre-existing conditions. And again, this is for 4 laps and it is timed. Also notable is when you cross the finish line for both, when you take your pulse with your fingers, it's important not to use your thumb. As I previously mentioned, you want to use the index and the middle finger because your thumb actually has a pulse of its own. And again, here, the same situation. Make sure that you time it for 15 seconds and multiply that number by 4. And here we have our equations for VO2 for both. Now you want to change the time to decimals, and that's simply done by dividing the seconds by 60 and replace the gender values with 1 for men and 0 for women. And now we have our aerobic power for both men and women at different stages. And our references. I hope you enjoyed the video.